Carolina in the flesh, watch the whole place shine. Hands up, both sides of the map. If you love where you at, better shout on the track. From the first little town on the back road map to the big brick blocks where the crowd go mad. This our song, we claimed it. Hit the gas on the way, let it bang in the hatch. Every lane, every light, every sign. We stand up. From the peaks to the pit. We here. Hey. Tar Heel turn up. Hand to the sky. Carolina on my shirt. On my mind. Dead right, dead right. From the mountains to the middle to the tide. So blue. If you from that NSC, what it do? What it do? Tar Heel turn up.
Dance in your lane. Whole stage jumping when they shout our name. If you from that NSC, let them know that's you. Throw your town in the air. Come through, come through.
Western side, where my riders at? Blue Ridge views in the back of the Cadillac. Booming bar, boom, girls cold like that, but the party so high, made the breath blow back. Queen City drip, I'm a 704 fiend. Skirt on train, paint still clean. Hornets on the head, buzz in the scene. Whole squad lit, red, white, blue, green. Bull City swing when we swerve on the loop. Durham in the cook, got the soul in the roof. Spin through Raleigh, I'm awake in the boot pack. So loud, whole lot of wolf in the youth. Slide to the Ville, I'm a point like the hills. Chopper Hill, chill with the gang they feel. Wherever I go, they know what real. Cause the tag say NC stamp. Tar Heel turn up, hand to the sky. Carolina on my shirt, on my mind, dead right, dead right. From the mountains to the middle to the tide, so blue. If you from that NSC, what it do? What it do?
Tar Heel turn up. Dance in your lane. Whole stage jumping when they shout our name. If you from that NSC, let them know that's you. Throw your town in the air. Come through, come through.
It's the queen on the mic from the coast on up. Got sand in my shoes and I still glow up. Woman 10 ways, I was raised on the docks. Now I'm lit in the city, got the crew on lock. Jacksonville fade, that's my fam in the field. Soldiers in hustle with a heart so real. 252 in the house for the thrill. Greenville grind, we don't sit, we build. Goldsboro slide in the parking lot. Rocky Mount kids to make the whole block rock. I rep every back road, every small spot. If you never left home, you're already on top. So put your hood in the air one time. Scream out your zip when the bass gon' climb. We all one state when the stars align. Carolina in the flesh, watch the whole place shine. Hands up, both sides of the map. If you love where you at, better shout on the track. From the first little town on the back road map to the big brick blocks where the crowd go mad. This our song, we claimed it. Hit the gas on the way, let it bang in the hatch. Every lane, every light, every sign we pass. Got the whole world knowing where we at. Tar Heel turn up, Tar Heel turn up. Hands to the sky, Carolina on my shirt, on my mind. Head right. From the mountains to the middle to the tide, so blue. If you from that NSC, what it do? What it do? Tar Heel turn up, dance in your lane. Whole stage jumping when they shout our name. If you from that NSC,
Scott Free is going live.
Let's go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Scott Free is going live.
Let's go.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
People, welcome, people. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Scott Free Morning Show. I'm just trying to finish setting everything up so we can get the show started. People, on today's episode, I'm not going to hold you. You see the title. Okay, let me get things warmed up. Like, get things going. Make sure everything's going. So, boom, that's working. Boom, that's working. Boom, mic is working. Background's working. Bam, bing, bop, on. Wow. Okay. Everything should be good. Everything should be good. Everything should be going. If I grab you later, I can. Well, let me grab you now. Let me grab you now and bring this over here so I make sure I got everything just like I need it. Hold on. All right, there you go. Again, people, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Scott Free Morning Show. If you're streaming live on YouTube, TikTok, or wherever the hell else we are streaming, I appreciate you. Definitely hit the like button on your way in and hit the follow button if you're not following the channel. We're gonna get things popping today. And as you see the title, and like I said, I think I got everything set up and ready to go now. But you see the title. I'll get into the comment section in a few. Matter of fact, let me slow down. I'm gonna pace myself. Guys, like I said, this is the Scott Free Morning Show on this platform for the people who come in brand new, because they do tend to send me new people from time to time. Not a lot, but every so often they do. And when they do, I want you to know what you're walking into, okay? What you're walking into is a place where we actually cover topics that covers the community. And when I say the community, I am talking about the Black American community. and that we generally talk about things trying to uplift us and also things that are grieving the community, but we try to find solutions, answers, and a place for camaraderie all in one space right here. So if you will join us, we're going to probably cover a few topics before we get into the main topic. But the main topic is, I feel like people, they are just coming for us in every which way possible. I cannot go online. I cannot go on social media. I cannot go on any of these news sites without there being some sort of an attack on Black America. It is getting out of hand. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to actually play a few clips in here that's going to support what I say is going on. And when I say it's been attacked, you're getting it from everywhere. And it's just, to me, again, I don't want to dive into it too long before we get into the episode, but it's just amazing how this little insignificant group that's just some generic Africans that's got thrown on a boat. It's just, it has to be on the tips of everybody's tongues. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. Let's move it. Let's talk about a few things before we get there. Okay, let's do that. First things first, I saw this. If you have been a follower of the channel, you know I'm not a big fan of celebrities, and I'm not a big fan of celebrities and politicians and things like that, because I know they're put in front of us to keep us in a certain position. And I know the majority of them, they're not outright. And like I said, I'm not trying to disparage people individually. What I am telling you is there is a culture of these people allowing us to suffer. And these people are the ones that we support with our full chest at all times. And I said that to say this. Let me say this too, guys. I'm ready to put some images on the screen for the TikTokers that are new here today. You can't be able to, they won't allow you to see them because they frown upon those. So what you're going to have to do if you want to actually see the graphics that I'm going to put or the videos that I play on the screen, you have to go over to YouTube. And what I would suggest that you do, I would suggest that you go follow the channel that says 300 Radio. Let me see if I can throw it on the screen for people real quick. Give me 2 seconds. That way you'll know what you're looking at when you get there and you won't get lost. I think this is it. Boom. It should look like this when you get there. Hold on a second. Should look like that when you get over there and see my beautiful little face over there all over it. It's 300 Radio, and to find it directly and the number 1. So at 300 Radio and the number 1, and it should pop right up for you if you want to see the graphics on the screen. What I want to play first is a video from Kevin Hart was on Michelle Obama and her brother Obama show. I don't know his name. And it's not even so much about any of the three of them. What I want people to understand is this. I don't want Black people to compartmentalize anything. What do I mean when I say that? I don't want you to think that when people do one thing, they don't do, well, you know what compartmentalize means. Goddamn, I'm ready to go into a dissertation. What I'm saying it for is right here. Kevin Hart's caught a lot of heat in the last couple of weeks for basically allowing other people to disrespect the culture. And then when asked about it, he kind of doubled down on, it is what it is. And what I genuinely like to say, when people do things like that, they're showing you something. Now, I'm not saying that Kevin should be thrown out with the bathwater. I am not saying such at all. But what I am saying is that we have to start holding people accountable when they come at the community, no matter how small, no matter how big, no matter how small. We need to hold people accountable. And what I mean is right now, he don't seem to understand that we had a problem with that. And he gonna need to feel it. The same way people come out and apologize to the LGBT, apologize to them little hat folks, people to women. I need people to come out and to apologize sincerely to our culture, even if you're amongst it and if you've done something to harm it. And I say all this to say this. She was on this Michelle Obama show, and I say this to say it makes sense because why he's on here and she doesn't feel like having to hold him accountable is because I don't believe the Obamas are about anything. And we can agree to disagree on that. I really don't care today. Normally, most time I have some empathy and sympathy for people's opinions when it comes to things that I know not to be true, but today ain't one of them days. Meaning, I know that them Obamas was put in front of our face to put us to sleep, but they did nothing, will do nothing, and have no desire to do anything for our culture positively. So that's why I say it makes sense. Boom, right after he don't have problems with the community. Hey, it doesn't matter. Come on my show. We'll talk about anything we want to. No, it should have been a problem. Kevin should be kind of right now having to go through it when it comes to Black folks until he gets why you should not talk negatively about the culture. Period. Now, us in the culture, we can criticize it all day. We can. to one another, but there's a certain time and place for it. And one thing we're not going to allow is other people from other groups to do that. That's just my personal opinion when it comes to that. Thank you for hitting the like button on your way in. I appreciate that. Especially over on L.Scott's page, because they like to remove me from over there. But anyway, let's move on from that. Like I said, I don't want to make it about Kevin and not about hate. I just want people to know that our culture shouldn't be off limits. And the reason why I'm saying that, more than anything right now, it's because of today's topic. People are coming at us every which way in they mama. I'm talking about. I am seeing videos up the wazoo of police harassing children, and it's always our children. They're constantly attacking your kids, and it's getting out of hand. I'm constantly seeing that. I'm seeing people get removed from buildings. I'm seeing people having proof that they're being discriminated against on their jobs. You've seen it every which way possible. I'm seeing they got products on shelves that are targeted towards black people that are full of toxins that none of the other products have. I'm seeing it every which way, and people still trying to say, no, it ain't. Yes, it is. I get so frustrated, probably mostly with my own people, that we have allowed people to try to gaslight us into believing what we are experiencing, we are actually not experiencing. See, I'm going to tell you something like this. When one person's going to do something, that's something. A few people, that's something. But when the collective can sit up and move, remember this whole boycott that you kind of got going on with Asians right now, right? No one called for a boycott. I think everybody looked at the optics of what we saw and everybody collectively got on cold. Now everybody's talking about it in a collective manner. Now everybody's talking about it as a thing. But it started that very first weekend. No, that was just pure. I'm done with these people. And what I want black people to know is that if you feel that organically without having to be told that is what you are experiencing. So when the world right now keeps messing with you and at the same time telling you ain't nobody messing with you. Like I gotta hear JD Vance on The View tell them, which I'm not a fan of The View, but I know JD Vance is full of sugar honey iced tea. I especially know he's full of sugar honey iced tea when he's trying to tell us that black people ain't getting erased out of this country, because that's what I preach about all day long, because that's what they're doing. So when people sit in your face and say, would they smooth, would they fool you? No, it's not happening. Man, no, you're not gassing me, and I want us to not be gassed. I don't care what they say out their mouth. We cannot control what these people lie about, and they do lie all the time. But we can't control it. But the only thing we can control, I'm gonna tell you what it is. Next thing before we get to the main story, I'm gonna talk about it again. Jaylen Brown. Y'all know who Jaylen Brown is? I know some ladies here. And I know your women don't follow sports like that. But Jaylen Brown is a black brother that plays for the Boston Celtics. He's one of the highest paid players in the NBA. He's one of the top 10 players probably in the league right now. Jaylen Brown is also an Ivy League educated young man, which I'm not a huge fan of institutions, but I'm just trying to lay the groundwork for what type of brother this is. This brother decided instead of going the route of everyone else and getting into the shoe game and becoming basically somebody else's property, he decided to start his own shoe brand, same thing, just like the Ball brothers. I never disrespect him. I don't care what you think of the dad. I don't care how you think he was crude. I don't care. When a black family decides to start something and actually one of his children is actually a star, then we should be balling the ball shoes. I don't know what they call them. I forgot. But Jaylen Brown, it's basically going to war with the media. He knows the perception they're trying to paint on him and all the reason why they're doing it is Jaylen Brown is because Jaylen thinks with an independent mind. He's not only intelligent, he thinks with an independent mind. And see, that's the problem. We don't want him to have that independent mind. He needs to get rid of that independent mindset. That's what they want to do with him. And I can tell that's what's happening with him. And this is what he's going at right now. Let me play this real quick. Matter of fact, I got to cut my light on too. So I'm going to play this and then I'm going to cut my light on. Hold on.
Working overtime right now in order to steer.
This is him talking
ESPN
about
is like working overtime right now in order to stir up controversy or to push an agenda. And it's so obvious. People sending me clips like ESPN is posted like you put your condo up for sale. ESPN is like, why are you working so hard to push a narrative about me? It's clear as day, but people, because I know what happens behind the media process, like ESPN, the reporters and analysts don't get to choose what the topics is. Somebody from above chooses what those topics are and places them in front of like the media analysts. So like even like people like Stephen A. Smith is not coming up with his own topic. Somebody else is, and he's just giving his take on it. So ESPN is like constantly putting me in the forefront of these narratives. Most of them are negative, and I wonder why.
Now, in my personal opinion, I believe the reason why they're doing it to him, and I totally agree with him, is his independent mind, his mindset. This brother literally, and he's very unapologetic about how he feels. He understands the manipulation of the media, the things that these people say that can actually dictate these brothers' salaries, how much money they build, their net worth. He sees the game, and he is not quiet about it. So for him, of course, he is a problem. See, I'm gonna tell y'all something that ties into today's episode that we need to go ahead and wrap our minds around is this. If we're us just Looney Tunes as black people, we crazy, we don't understand what we're looking at. That's all the problem is. We just too ignorant from Roland Martin on the black side to JD Vance on the white T side, telling us we just don't know what we're looking at. The world is just not what it used to be. We great now. Everything's easy now. Black folks just won't get over it. It's your own fault. This is BS because at every turn, every time a brother says something positive about us, every time somebody says, let's stand outside of the box, let's do something that's outside of them, all of a sudden these people are just horrible human beings. But Stephen A. Smith, who has proven to be an enemy to the culture, gets a platform to sit up every day and denigrate the folks. So the reason why I brought this up is I want you to look at the Stephen A. Smiths and the conversations that those people be having on those platforms and then ask yourself, how did we get here? Because they make it do sound like they're just coming up with these things on a whim. No, the network is pushing narratives. The players are at the whim of ESPN and the league. Do y'all realize that in these leagues, majority of the time, the guy who probably is a star isn't the star of the team? And I'm not saying this is always the case. But I know there's plenty of times when you hear old former players say, who do you didn't like to guard? Or, man, who was hell to guard? Stuff like that. It's never the star. It'll be, oh, man, you should have heard about, man, this was a guy named Pete Johnson that played in the league. And it'll be something like that. But then they'll say, what? Why you think Pete didn't make it? Man, Pete was wearing dashikis and stuff to practice, and they just didn't like it. Why everything got to be political, but then told us everything's never about race? How many times in your job and your workforce have they told you that when you didn't get the promotion, when you didn't get the job, the reason why black folks are just not employed higher than everybody else in the culture is because you're just inadequate? How many times have they told you that? And every time you tell them all the time, no, I got the same background as you have. Why I can't get the job? It's just a coincidence. I don't know. But then I got to hear stories like this, sister. I'm going to play something for y'all. When I play this this is going to ring true, and most of you ears, most of y'all going to say yourself, yep, this has happened to me in some form or fashion. Watch what I say when I say that. Watch this.
Racism is pushing black people like myself out of IT jobs. 2 months ago, my recruiter called me and she was like, hey, I have a job. They bumped up the salary and that's why I called you, because you're my Hail Mary. You get placed everywhere you interview for. I said, okay, cool. She was like, it's above what you're making currently. Are you willing to leave? I said, I'm not really willing to leave my job, but I'm gonna hear what they got going on, because if it's worth it, I'll leave. She said, okay, cool. I interviewed with the HR department. They love me. They call her back immediately that day and say, hey, we want to have her interview with the IT manager and the whole IT support because she was so awesome on the call. So she calls me the same day and said, can you do it right now? I said, no, I cannot. And she was like, really, please, could you try to do it? I said, okay, but I'm not going to be on video. She said, okay, cool. We have a phone call. They asked me all the IT questions they want to ask me. They asked me behavioral questions. And then we just start kind of shooting it because they were like, we really like you. Like, what's some things you like to do? So I'm telling them about how, I have been rewatching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And they were like, oh, like you like that show? I was like, I really love it. So we're just talking about the show. We're talking about a lot of things going on. And then after that, the call ends. My recruiter calls me that same day and she was like, you're basically a shoo-in. Do you want to see if I can get you a little bit more? I said, yes.
I want to pause it right there. Now, how many of you guys have been a shoe-in? Honestly, how many times has that been the thing? How many times have you said, oh, you're a shoe-in? So that lets me know something's not right here. Let's keep going.
See if you can get me a little bit more, and I'll see if I can get everything together where I'm currently at to prepare to leave. And she was like, okay, cool. She was like, they want to do one more interview with you because of the fact that they want to have you on video. You've done phone calls this entire time, but they want to see you on video. Can you, arrange for that to happen? I said, sure. So I arranged for it to happen on a lunch break. I do a video call with them. When I hop on that video call, when they finally let me into the Zoom, their faces went from to when they seen that I was black. So then they started asking me they're not IT help desk questions. They're more security and networking. But I'm able to answer them because I've worked in every sector in IT that I'm able to answer them. But I'm also saying, hey, this is IT help desk.
Okay, so not to bore you guys with the breakdown of what this young lady is saying, I'm going to go ahead and hit the like button, share the live, I promise you. Come on in. Let's get this thing popping. Let's share this thing out. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paraphrase the rest of what she said. Basically, she didn't get the job. After she didn't get the job, she turned around at that point and then she told some other people about the job that was up, and one of them happened to be an Asian guy that she knew. The Asian guy actually got the job. The Asian guy basically goes to the job, calls her and lets her know, yeah, they didn't hire you because you were basically not Asian. What I'm going to tell you guys is this. This is why I always say to people, I will not allow people to take our culture and just blame us blankly for stuff that's not happening for us positively. See, at every turn, people are telling you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. It's your own fault. You people are degenerates. Your father's not at home. All this other good jazz. And at every turn, you have to hear stories like this. So I have to ask the question, which one is true? Is it the fact that we're not pulling ourselves up, or are you making sure we can't pull ourselves up? See, I want black people to understand at this point, you are, well, let me say this. They are at war with you. I love TikTok Shop, but they are definitely at war with black people. Let's go down that list now. Let's go ahead. I think we're far enough in. Let's go down this list now, and let's go ahead and get the thing. Thank you, Ms. Wright, for the gift. I appreciate you, Sugarfoot. Thank you very much. All right, so let's go ahead. Some of the things that I wanted to play was this. First things first, and like again, I can't show you guys per se. No, I can't. On you, I'm gonna try to sneak it in maybe for a second. I don't know, but let's see. But I'm gonna tell you guys they've been harassing our kids. Let's watch this. Let's just watch this together.
These teens are told to leave a park because they're making other people uncomfortable.
We're fine with them being here.
And did you hear that? Let's see if I got you. Right here. These young brothers here are making people uncomfortable is what they're saying. These young black brothers right here in the corner.
Are you kidding
Hold on one second. I'm gonna see if I can play it for you guys over here.
They're literally just sitting on the bench doing nothing.
So, I just wanted to play the video.
If they would maybe, why is it?
So, and this woman goes on, and they basically violently grappling these boys up. Yes, everyone is. So now we have the police, and this is one example. We have a gang of police officers out here because young men are at a park that, or at least I think it was an event or something that they don't want them at. Now, again, remember this. Stop letting these people off the hook for the Karen or the ass that decided to make the call, because all of them complicit. Because I'm going to tell you this. Common sense says when someone calls you, you say, hey, there's some black guys here that I just don't want here. Yeah, they're making me uncomfortable. You really send someone out there to do that? No, you don't do that. You let that woman shut the and get back to doing whatever she's doing and leave them alone. And if anything pops off, call us back then. You don't get to do that to these children. Again, I want people to get nervous when they do stuff to us like this. So this is one example. And like I said, it ended very poorly for the brothers. Again, they're just, even though they don't have weapons or anything, they're just the most violent things on earth. We have to treat them this way. We have to treat them as animals. We have to do it. And then the police said, let's cover it all up. Now, remember last week, I told everyone on there, they did a study. They propped this black Harvard guy up. He did a study. He wanted to see if there was any racial disparities in between pugning black people and white people from the police department. He found none. Now, in this situation here, right here, do you know this would come off? I think they got different resisting arrest and something else. So now you're resisting an arrest that you should not be having. So now this is on the crime sheet for the black guys on here. You don't think this is going to make us look worse when we shouldn't? When there's no comparable thing to them that's happening the same way? See, what I want people to understand is this. Stop turning the news off with these people. If they don't look like you, if the stuff that they saying to you don't resonate with you, turn them off. Just because they have a pretty production, just because they have studio lights, I promise you these people are not brighter. Yesterday, if you were here, we did a breakdown of Roland Martin's video trying to say that we are not watching before our own freaking eyes, then replace American actors, black American actors with foreign black actors. And damn near everything that we got. Don't tell me it's not happening. He sat down yesterday and did a dissertation of nothing, of babble, and never got to the point on why it wasn't happening. But no, the agenda is we are doing that, and everybody that is getting paid by us needs to push it. Again, I'm not against this just to be contrary. You don't feel what I'm saying and resonate with you because you want to be contrary. No, you don't feel that. You feel that because that's what you're feeling. You feel that because that's what's going on. These people trying to convince you that you ain't going through it, that's just a psyop that they trying to put you through. Let's go on. Let's move on. What else do we got up here? Because I know it's multiple things. This is in a row. They like to just come for. Hold on. What else we got up here? Hold on. What did I find up here? Here we go. Now we got a brother. Here's a brother at a police stop. Now this brother is at a police stop for littering. I want to see if you can hear what he was littering with.
My partner just advised me that you ashed out the window. So do you have your driver's license?
You said that what out the window?
You ashed out the window.
Ash what?
Whatever you were smoking. So do you have your driver's license?
My black and mine.
Yeah. So you ashed.
So the brother is getting harassed in a citation for flicking ash off of his black and mild. But yet and still, every day in my comment section, you Negroes make it about race. Where is anybody getting harassed for ash? Again, you want me to see it? You want me to feel it? You want me to experience it and also to deny it too? Is that what you're telling me? Because that's what it feels like the world keeps telling black Americans. I know you feel it. I know you see it. I know we put it on repeat. So the fuck with your head. Excuse me, I love TikTok Shop. I do. I'm sorry for cussing. Please forgive me, I'm learning. So there's another situation that I never see from anybody else where someone's getting stopped for flicking ash. Yes, thank you for being there. I appreciate the comment. Yes, the gaslighting is on 1,000 right now for black people. Every case that we see, every case that we hear, you notice that I say this all the time now. Wherever the black person is in the story, that's where the story is going to go because that's the person who's the problem. Every story that we get, it's justified because it's against the black person and it's never justified. Like I would always tell people, the people who always feel the need to get in your comment sections to tell you to get on TV and talk about stuff, go down their timelines. I want you to tell me when did they have ever spoke out against anything that happened to your community that was wrong that they thought it. It'll never come up. You want to know why? Because they don't like your community. Let me tell black people something so you get it through your head. Black people, I want you to understand something. And this is I'm not trying to characterize all of them, but culturally, their job, they do not view the world the way that you do. You do not view the world through a lens. I know black people. As a whole collective, I'm a black person. So as a black person, as a whole collective, we do not view the lens on people in a certain manner. These people will say, do, and go to any lengths to lie, cheat, and steal to be right about something if it keeps them at an advantage. To these people, equality is a disadvantage. You do realize that, right? True equality feels to them like a disadvantage. I give you an example of what I mean. You say that's not true. It is true. I'm gonna tell you how it's true. Your family, since even though 80% of them got here after 1890, let's just be honest, most of them new booty here. Most of these people are new booty, but they can all tell you they came here on the Mayflower. So let's just go with that story since they said it. Since they came here on the Mayflowers, since the Mayflower up until this day, they have collected so much wealth as a community that they have far and beyond surpassed you because at one point you wasn't making anything. So when you say at this point, hey, let's make it equal, give it all to them now, or in a way that they can actually level the playing field, they say, you're doing something against us. You see how they take that as disrespect to level the playing field? See, I don't view it this way. I won't look at it that way. I know how these people are. But anyways, let's keep going. That's just another situation. It's another situation. What else are we looking at here? Anything else in here? Let's see here. What's this one? Oh, no, that's a little Nas X. He done got messed up in here.
People start a functioning black community. Like we would leave you to it. We would be, oh my.
Now, I'm gonna play that again. I'm gonna rewind it. What you heard is this is a white T guy. Again, if you want to see it, go over to YouTube. This is a white T guy getting online with the lies. Here's the lie. You black people won't pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. You black people don't want to do better for yourself. You just want to rely on excuses, and you're the reverse racist and all this good old jazz that makes no sense. And then you say things like, just leave me alone, stop treating me a certain way. Leave me alone, stop trying to treat me like a second class citizen. Let my merit, let myself, let my hard work get me what I'm supposed to get. And we say this all the time. Y'all say, whatever, you don't want it. And they just disenfranchise everything. And they'll say, then they'll lie and say, no, it's not. You're just lying. You're just lying. You just want. And here's the situation. This young fella here is going to say, if you guys just wanted to go off and be by yourselves, we wouldn't care. We want you to do that. And I want to play it again and how he said it. Let's play it again.
people start a functioning black community, like we would leave you to it. We would be, oh my.
So now you heard him. Oh, he would just leave you guys to that functioning black community. We just don't want to deal with you guys. We will leave you alone. Well, one of his turncoats, his white tea lady, she's ready to break down neighborhoods down to cities that were all black run. And I want you to know, at the end, I'm going to tell you what happened to each and every last one of these things that she speaks about.
Portsmouth, Ohio, Leandit, Michigan, Pollock, Louisiana, Salina, Tennessee, Comanche County, Texas, Paragould, Arkansas, Lexington, Oklahoma, Blackwell, Oklahoma, Monette, Missouri, Linton, Indiana, Elwood, Indiana, Wilmington, North Carolina. Not just a racial expulsion, not just a massacre, but also the only coup d'etat recorded in U.S. history. Pana, Illinois, Carterville, Illinois, Mena, Arkansas, Pierce City, Missouri, Decatur, Indiana, Joplin, Missouri, Sour Lake, Texas, Harrison, Missouri, Cotter, Arkansas, Marshall County, Kentucky, Anna and Jonesboro, Illinois, Forsyth County, Georgia. This is the foundation of Lake Lanier. East St. Louis, Illinois, Irwin, Tennessee, Corbin, Kentucky, Ocoee, Florida, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Greenwood, aka Black Wall Street, a thriving black neighborhood.
Let's just say she goes on and on and on. Black people, they have put the okie doke on you. They have told you that you can't produce, you can't move, you can't live without Zaddy. And all you have done throughout your history and all your ancestors have done is built the most greatest civilization before Zaddy, doing Zaddy's oppression. And what they have convinced you now is that you need Zaddy for everything. Zaddy is no good to you. Zaddy means you nothing but harm. Zaddy hears your pain when we speak it. For this young man, we feel pain as a community. Shut up. He deserved it. You're looking at it wrong. You're too stupid to understand it. Simple Simon. We hear all of these things. I love TikTok Shop. I do, because I'm not bullying. I'm just saying things that black people hear. You're being misinformed. You don't understand that you're not bright enough to understand what you're looking at. It's always this. How do like people like Roland, how does Roland get to sit back and tell you about all the greatness of black men and black women from the past and all the things they were able to accomplish and then today denigrate everyone? Every outside the box thinker, every black person that is bucking the system, the same thing that he glorifies from the past, all the people doing it now, he talks negative about, and then he stands up for the very system that he says the people in the past were fighting. This makes no sense to me. TP, I'm gonna tell you like this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, one or two things. Maybe you either walked in it and did half sentence and didn't understand it, or the other thing, I bet to tell you, I don't understand what to tell you, brother. I really don't. I think everybody else do. I think 5,000 likes up here told me they understand what I'm saying. Maybe it's just you. Matter of fact, I ain't got time today. Because we understand. Ain't nobody got time to waste time for people who just saying shit to be saying shit. Get out of there. There's no need for that. I don't have time for that today. Because that's what we deal with. We got to listen to people all the time say ignorant things. It's just, to me, I don't have time for that. Because you're talking about that many black towns, and each and every last one of them all failed because they economically did it on purpose or they set it on fire. Don't talk to me about, y'all don't talk, what is racism has been over slavery in it? I don't care. You're going to have to explain to me, and I want y'all also to know this. Don't let them okie dokie with the hijack. You know why so many towns and cities and everything that you heard right there and there? Because majority of those predates them folks. I could get into it, and I'm going to get into it after we have this conversation, but I'm going to tell you, black folks ain't from here. I mean, they ain't from over there, they're from here. We have sprinkled in from over there, but your people is from here. We can prove it. Those towns that she spoke of, they can prove it. And these people they have systematically wiped us out. Look, y'all don't understand. Forget the open racists like the Trumps. Those are the deflections. I need for you to look at this. I need for you, when you go into your grocery store, look at your back of your packages to see if anything has any nutritional value at all. Because if they have whole entire stores, and they have whole entire stores that have nothing but GMO foods, the entire store, and they all in the hoods, then they're telling you they're psychologically, they're trying to medically, they're trying to impugn you from the inside. If you go to your school, if 60 to 70 to 80% of the black boys in the school system are all on some type of ADHD medicine, what the fuck are you trying to say? All these kids need this? That is warfare on your kids. They do not come direct. They come this way, and then they deny all the things that they're doing to you. That is how they work. This is what they do. I messed them up internally. I messed them up psychologically. I messed them up through the system. I skew laws and I make excuses for bad behavior. Because mind you this, we have watched with our own eyes black people go through things with law enforcement and non-law enforcement that is blatantly out in the open, out front. You can see what the problem is. And what do they tell you? That ain't what you see. You're not seeing it right. But then we'll turn around with no video evidence, with no footage, no cameras, no nothing, no at all. Because mind you, they keep telling us there is video, ain't no video of Carmelo Anthony. But nobody at this point right now, the masses of the people have not seen what has happened. But for some reason, this is the most vilified young man in the world. They can say that with their full chest and know it, but you can see it on camera. You can see what's happening to a black person and then turn around and say, I didn't see that. At that point, I don't need to have a conversation with you no more. Black people have to get to a point where now with this, it's just, I don't need to have a conversation with you anymore. Because if you can deny what your eyes see, but you will not deny what you want to make up about a black person that ain't even fitting the nature of the kid, then we ain't got nothing to talk about no more. And I think that's what black people need to get to. Again, let me say something, ring the alarm. To non-black people who non-black Americans who are black, understand this. When I say this, when you are mad at black folks, if they're not patronizing your business. If you are Caribbean and you're from the continent, it does not matter. If you are mad because black Americans may not be patronizing your business on purpose, I want you to say to yourself something this. I really want you to say this. If you felt loved at one point and now you feel the resistance, I need for you to self-check your own people because black folks are tired. I get it. It's not all of y'all. That ain't the point. Because I can tell you this, majority of the black men I know do not beat their women, do not do anything to their women, are not robbing banks, they're not gang banging or any of this. But for some freaking reason, every time you talk with somebody else's culture, everybody has to hold that bag. So if I gotta hold a bag for a man who commits all of those things and I don't, you gonna hold that bag for your disrespectful people when it comes to the culture. We are tired. And I have black fatigue. What the fuck you think we going through then? You hear about it, we experience it. I want black people to say to these people, I just don't care no more. You can say what you want, I'll be that. That is the movement we need to be on. Put the hashtag in, I'll be that. That's what we need to be at. Because you should not be losing. I'll tell you something I found out the other day and it broke my freaking heart. What do they tell you all the time on the news? What do they tell you all the time from the bootleg people, the Michelle Obamas and the Angela Rye? We have made progress. We are doing our thing, but Trump's stopping the progress. No, he's not. They have been stopped the progress. Let me tell you a fact that I've read today. I Googled how much land did black Americans own in 1999? It said anywhere from 7.9 to 14 million acres of land. Then I Googled, how much land does black American own today? And if I read it correctly, it says under 3 million acres of land. I want you to tell me if you have lost land, if your dollar is worth less money, if you or your rent is high, but your bills eclipse how much you bring in and you don't do as much. I'm telling you, you have not made progress. You are going backwards. They got you fixated. They got you fixated on the plantation. They don't have to put you in chains to control your everything. That's what you're walking into. It's just gotten to a point now, man. I don't understand why people don't understand what we're looking at now. You don't need to be at the point where you need to deny it. You don't need to convince anybody anymore. Go to therapy. A therapist is going to tell you, I say this all the time, your feelings are valid. What you want and desire is valid. what you want internally for your nervous fucking system to work properly is valid. So when a person keeps agitating you, you need to leave them alone. They mean you no good. Look, I can't even stomach like the views, the shows. I can't stomach the shows regardless of who they have on the show. Because that's a production. They get up in the morning and they make up a lie and they make up a scenario and a way. They look up, they make up a way to make the world look in a certain manner that it's not. I'll give you an example. Nickelodeon. For us, when they have children that raise them through the Nickelodeon or the Disney area, when you see those kids sit down and watch That's So Raven or Jerry Maguire, or I said Jerry Maguire. It was somebody Maguire. I can't remember. Lizzie McGuire. If you're watching the Wiggles, I don't know. I'm telling my age. But if you take in all of this and you have all these people and you say to yourself, man, this is some of the most healthiest, America's beautiful place. They're teaching our babies even when we can't be around. To find out that it's a cesspool that these children are getting done all kinds of ways. This is what you live in. You live in a pretty picture, but a lie all behind it. And I think this generation has just gotten to a point where they're saying, I can't deal with the lie anymore. I can't function under your delusion. I'm not going to be delusional with you. I appreciate the love. I appreciate your love over there. Heart you. I do. To me, let's keep going. Let me see. I think it's other stuff in here too. There's another one. What's this here? Okay. Now this is one I put in here just because it makes sense. So article comes out. Pum rates. I don't even know if I can say that word. And that's another thing. We live in a world that has a vocabulary in it that we all use in our day-to-day that they don't mind us using in grocery stores, and we can use the words inside daycare centers, and we can use the words inside of the mall, we use the word inside the police, and we use these words everywhere. But online, for some reason, oh my God, that's bullying. Oh my God, if I use the R word when it comes to what you do to women and what she's going to tell you just happened to her, all of a sudden that's frowned upon. No, maybe you shouldn't do the behavior versus trying to hide the word, because if we put the word in, they're going to put a hashtag behind it, and all the people going to be doing it, it is you. These people manipulate whatever they can't monetize, they stifle and try to and criminalize. So they said young black brothers. Let me just get to the point. They said young black brothers and black men, period, are pew-pewing themselves at a higher rate right now. The mental health crisis is through the roof. I wonder why when you are being freaking hunted. You can say whatever you want. You can pretty picture on it. You can say whatever you want. But black men are being hunted. Black women are being hunted. And our children are being hunted. Mr. Child hunted that boy down. And then the system upheld him. Not only did the system uphold him, then damn near the entire police force wanted to protect his property after it was over. Everybody and their mama held him up. Now these same people are the same people telling you need to crash out on Carmelo. But for some reason I don't know what do you guys want us to do with the jury spoke. You know, we can't help it. The judge, they just did it. Again, stop having conversation with people mean you no good. These people know what they're talking about. I always say that with people, you know what's funny? You ever have a conversation and get to talking about racism, and you be in a room full of white, especially liberal white people, you in the room with them, all of a sudden racism makes no sense to them. Can you tell me how to look at it? I don't really know what I'm looking at. Can you help me understand how it's affecting you negatively? I don't know. I'd be like, so you're trying to, and I understood this from a very early age. So let me get this clear, because I asked the white guy this one time. So let me get this straight. People do it to me every day. You have perfected the system that collectively still does it to me every day, but yet and still you don't understand how it works. Huh? That's like running a business that you don't know how to run, but you running it successfully better than anybody else, but you don't know what you're doing. You just lucky. Globally, these people just lucky. They just know how to do it. They lucky. These people lie at everything. I'm telling you like this now. The older I get, the more I realize Well, there's a book. There's a book called, I forgot the name of it. God, I read it a few years ago. But there's a book basically saying that people lie for 2 different reasons, basically. And I'm going to tell you, it basically falls on racial lines. And people only lie for like 2 different reasons. 1, to get out of something, or 2, to gain something. Classic example, black people, we lie about our qualifications for jobs because we need work. So we'll lie to get that, but we need it. We will lie about what we did on our weekend, this, that, and third, to save money. We will lie all the time to save it. When a man's out here stepping out on his old lady, he will lie to preserve his relationship. He's trying to hold something. That is what black people do. That is how black people understand how we lie. That's why we love each other, even though we lie to each other all the time. It's because all of us are thinking about that in some form or fashion. We understand that. Now, their side doesn't do that. They lie to gain, which black people can't understand. You can't understand when there's no need to lie. Why are you lying? Because they're trying to gain something. You're trying to preserve, and when there's nothing to preserve, there's no reason to lie. But for them, I want your vote, so I'm gonna lie to you. I need it, so I'm going to say whatever I need to get it. I don't mean it, but I'm going to lie to you. We're equal opportunity employer. I'm going to make sure everybody gets paid equally. This and the third. I'm lying to you to make sure that you come get on the job and I can make sure I underpay you. But I'm lying to you. I just gave you an excuse. This is the world that we live in. Hit the like button. Share the live. Appreciate it. Come on, man. Let's keep it going. Tell me I'm lying when I ain't lying. I'm not lying. So, of course, black men have a mental health crisis going on right now, because who wouldn't have a mental health crisis going on? Everybody named mama is going to have one right now if you're being hunted. Look, just look at it like this. What black people's lives is like it is a war zone, but you see it with like rosy colored glasses. You really are when you step outside, or even when you're in your home. They're attacking you in some form or fashion. And see, what it is you think that this is normal. You've lived in this toxicity, black man, black woman, for so long. You've lived in it that you think this is normal behavior and everybody's experiencing it. They're not. When people have to live the existence that black Americans go through, they pum themselves. They do all kinds of things. They can't take it. They whine, they riot, they do all kinds of things. Remind you, when they lost Trump just getting removed from office, you lost. Even though, you know, who cares? It's a rigged system, but you lost. I know it's rigged. I'm not saying that was just rigged. All of it's rigged. They select them. You don't elect them, they select them. So it's all rigged. They already know. They already know who's going to be president in 2028. They already know. You just don't know yet. See, this is how it works. You think it works one way, it works actually the exact opposite. The person doesn't come ask you for your vote, you put them in office. No, they pick the person and then they spend the next 18 to 24 months convincing you why you need to pick the person they've already picked. And everybody's in on it. So Fox News will scale it back when they need, if it's a Democratic president and they need to put him in office, even if they have skeletons, they're going to scale back their criticism of them just enough to where they can get the president in office, but still seem like they don't like them, and vice versa. You want to know how I know that? When Barack Obama was in office, they never came at him really about his pastor. They did it a little bit, but they really never came at him like that. He had accusations of sleeping outside of his marriage. He had things, all kinds of things that could have got him for black Americans. They could tell black Americans that he had it in his book. I know nobody really read his book. The man told you he won't go do no reparations for you in his book, but he don't talk about that. He talks about like he wish he could. No, he told you in his book he won't go do it. So it's just things like this. But what it is they put people in front of you and they're going to put them in a specific way. I'll give you an example. I know he's a plant. This is why I know Obama's a plant. And you can kiss my ass when you don't agree. They said that man came from the south side of Chicago because he was an alderman out there fighting on the ground for black folks to get something out there in that thing. And he got in politics just to help the folks. And just so happened people loved him so much he made it all the way to the White House. Then explain to me, why did you put Rahm Emanuel, who gets into that city and he went wreck shop on them? You appointed that man there and he went wreck shop in there. Not only that, when you got out of office, you never came back. I know one thing. I know I'm from North Carolina. I know that I'm out there, I'm a country boy. I know my town is getting crapped on right now by data centers. I can tell you this, if I'm the man, the president of the United States, if nothing else is gonna get fixed, they're gonna fix that. I'm gonna make sure they get fixed. Why? Because that's my neighborhood, that's my family. My people are from there. People's families that I know is from there. I'm gonna make sure they get something there. No data centers going in there. So you mean to tell me the South Side of Chicago, the place that they use, as they say, the South Side of Chicago becomes the equivalent of all black people, all of them in the entire country, we all become from the South Side of Chicago when they want to say how bad we are. This is your neighborhood, your neck of the woods, the part that you said that you came from, that you was fighting on the ground for. You didn't try to fix it at all. It's still the same crap hole as y'all say it was before when you were in there. Then when you come out, you don't go back, you don't talk about it, you don't hang out there, you don't try to fix nothing. What about the people you connected with there? You just forgot about them. That's how I know you were just given a story. You don't have to like me, but look at the proof of the pudding. I'm not hating on him. That's the truth. Why every president gets something? They get a library, a museum, or something they want to do after themselves. Why you didn't put your crap in Chicago? No, you in DC. Why you ain't do none of that? You want to know why you ain't do none of that? Because you don't care nothing about Chicago. You never did. You stepped on us to get put on to crap on us. That's what all of them are doing. And y'all get mad at me. Y'all say I'm the hateful one. I'm not being hateful. I'm just telling the truth. I want you to tell the truth. I want you to be told the truth. What are you saying there? What are you saying? You saying what? No, I don't live in Chicago. I don't live in Chicago at all. Okay, no. What did you say? You said they're here all the time. Okay, I go to North Carolina all the time. I haven't stopped the data center from going in. What are you telling me because they frequent the city? No, ma'am. Or sir, whoever, I can't see what you are. I'm trying to get you to understand is this. Your lip service don't work for black folks no more. You don't get to just show up and say, hey, I'm in the city, so what? What did you do? Same thing I keep saying about the districts. Don't talk to me about how black folks are losing their districts. When I look up the districts, all of them have been failing for decades. That means it didn't get no better because black folks was in it. I just want my people to get something better. So I'm gonna need for them same people to be as outraged about the community on the day-to-day, not because it's starting and you losing your position now. I don't want you to take my children that the only way they seem to can make any level of wealth for themselves is through sports, and now you're trying to use them to weaponize them to keep your position. So you telling me that they in the city all the time. What are they doing for the city? No, I'm not from Chicago. Again, I didn't build my back off of something and then abandon it. You okay with them abandoning it? You okay with nothing tangibly coming out of it? See, people think that just because I won't big up him, why you big upping him? Ask yourself that question. Why you big upping him? I can talk about anybody, and you should talk about anybody. Everybody has done something negative to you, especially the ones who say they're going to do it under false pretense. Because these people will make you believe they come out here like they love you, and then they'll say, I've heard people support him say this crap. He never said he ran on the black ticket. Heard the same thing with Kamala Harris. They never said she ran on the black ticket. Yes, the fuck she did. When you come out and you say the day I'm running for president is on Martin Luther King's birthday, that's one. I'm not talking about this time, I'm talking about the last. I'm just showing you how they set these things up. These are identity politics, as they call it. I want y'all to say this. For the person who right here who's standing for Obama, what has Obama said about the Carmelo Anthony case? What has Obama said about Mr. Child case? Your voice is way louder than mine, Mr. Obama. I care enough about my community to know in 1 week, we lost one to the system, we lost one to the ground. I know that we lost 2 fucking kids, and nobody's trying to do anything to help. But you supporting that, and they don't talk about this at all, but they care. They always come at people like me on my level and they say things to me like this. What you doing to fix the community? Ma'am, sir, you do not know what I produce outside of this place. That's one. And I don't have to answer that to people. But I am going to say this too. Every time I get on here, what I talk about is frowned upon. If my name got big enough, I can promise you this. They're not going to be giving me NAACP awards. They're not going to be calling me out because I'm going to call it like it is. And you know what the system frowns upon? People who call it like it is. That's why Obama's name is still in good standing. I understand that white tee man jumped out there and called that woman a monkey. Did I? No. But I'm going to tell you both can be true. That motherfucker, that UFC crap at the White House, can be a racist piece of sugar honey iced tea, and the same time I can say them motherfuckers ain't shit when it came to black folks. What I want black people to do is this. I want you to hold the Obamas all the way down to Jesus Christ, the same standard you hold your baby daddy to and your baby mama to when y'all get mad at them and you want to do that. I want you to hold the same standard. I need that person to show up for you. I need that person to show up for you all the time like you need them to show up for you. I don't need them to show up for you in mysterious fucking ways. I need for them to show up for you. I love TikTok Shop. I love it. I love it. But I need people to show up for you. What you keep getting is people who tell you, man, the other side ain't showing up for you, is it? You hear it every day. Man, the other side ain't doing it. To me, again, of course, black men, I have a mental health crisis. Is there anything else? Here we got another one. Let's keep going. Now these are things that just floating around the internet. Let's go. Come on, thing.
What was the reason for stopping me? When we drove by in the Muse, we just saw you. I was a little concerned. It looked like you were reaching down, just like hiding your face. We came by. You're wearing a sweatshirt in 80-degree weather.
Holmes says he was on.
So now black man got pulled over because he has on a sweater when he left. I think he was leaving the gym. Again, that's just being good cops because they want to make sure that this man is not out doing something he has been doing to keep the community safe. Again, I'm not even gonna dive into the conversation we all know to be true. We all know that we are profiled. We all know that we get treated way worse. We all know this. I'm saying now, let's move beyond. Man, you see what they do? We know it. We know it. I just now, when these people get in there and want to argue with you, block them. Let's move on. Get back to us. What are we doing? I like the movement. I like when I see posts like I saw the other post when they said, it was one of the girls I watched, one of the blogs I watched. What's her name? Pink Lesson. Pink Lesson got a video, but I haven't watched it yet. But it looks like the sisters, the black ladies, are doing business with other black women when it comes to their nails and hair and stuff. Oh, it's beautiful to watch. I love that. See how happy I get when the black folks are doing something for each other? Excited that they building with each other. See how excited I get. I'm not talking bad about them. I'm not telling them how, hey, we have Asian brothers and sisters that we got to think about. We have no. I'm excited that black people now are just getting back. Now that should tell you how much money we shitting on our own people. We're giving it to other folks because now we thriving. That money goes into the community. Now, if those same people who are thriving with those healthcare places and things like that, now black folks open up something else. Go to there first. I'm telling you, we're gonna get it. Stay away from the people who get mad at you and say, man, I gotta cross that line, man. I'm sorry. Don't leave them alone. But again, you don't hear the Obamas and them saying it. You don't hear no one champion, yo, like right now, classic example, to the lady who loves Obama in here, or the brother, whoever it was. Let me say this to you. What is stopping him from any of these situations? We all know the reason why we go economic first, because we all know this. There's two ways that we can fight this beast right now if we wanted to. One, most people don't want to get to because it's going to mean we're going to lose people, and you know what I'm saying. And the other one, the only other way that we see fit is economically. So if everybody understands that this is a way to affect the community to get change for us positively, why isn't Obama from his living room now? He's not president. He ain't running for office no more, but he got pulled with brothers enough to have somebody here defending nothing. So since he has enough pull, why don't he say, y'all, I agree with y'all, man. Enough is enough. Let's just all band together and let's just economically try to shut this thing down. Black people need to come together right now. Why isn't the man who comes in with the limp pimp walk and he dapping people up and all that? I don't give a fuck all that. Why ain't none of them speaking in that manner? Why ain't, again, I ain't looking for you to change no laws. I want you to use your celebrity. I want calling celebrities, and celebrity meaning entertainers, ball players, and politicians alike. All of y'all, all you entertainers. We don't want your vote. We want you to speak up on the behalf of what you think black people should do to make them folks act better with us, and you champion it. Meaning, if black people as a collective is crapping right now on other communities and their businesses on purpose, where's your politician saying good? Where is your entertainer saying great? Where is your ball player says I'm with it? All of them quiet. You want to know why they're quiet? Because that's not good for their businesses. And what's not good for their businesses is what's important. Doesn't matter if we struggle. Doesn't matter every time a black person open a business, if he don't get in there or she don't get an entertainer attached to it, it don't go nowhere. This world has told you what they think of you, and I'm telling you now, you don't need for them to admit it for you to feel it. If you feel it, fucking move. Anyways, hit the like button on that. But I just saw that one and I said I was reading the comments just there. My bad. So we got that there. We got that going on right there. All right, so let's see this. What else did I see up here? Is there anything else up here? Oh, here's one. And actually, this is on the side note, but it's kind of still tied in. It said 42% of recent college graduates are underemployed and working jobs. And I can't say that is not required. Oh, basically, they working jobs that it's not in their degree field. And I want to say this so bad. So again about statistics, I don't care about statistics, because the statistics, like most people will take this because it has a pretty new sign and it comes from a replicable source. And what I say to it is, no, none of this is real. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: how many black people you know that went to college, got their degrees, work in their field? I don't know many. I know a lot of college graduates. I don't know many that works in their field. So you said 42%. Shit, I would have said 42% ain't in their field. I mean, is in their field. Not ain't. I would have said is. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't work in our fields. We go off and get college degrees and become YouTubers. We go off and get college degrees and become real estate investors. That's what we do. You wanna know why? Because, and I'm gonna tell you why. Nurses, I agree. How did I forget that's the main one. Nurses and real estate agents, that's what it is. But I'm gonna tell you like this, why is it this way? Why do we struggle even though, let's just take the black women. Let's take the sisters who's out here just killing it. You know, sister girls, I'm with you today. I'm gonna ride with you. See, 2 degrees. So let's go there, let's say this. To the sister girls who's out here just killing the game, getting degrees and popping their collars, and they still got y'all worth $2. I'm gonna tell you why. Because the issue isn't in our education. The issue is in the people we run into when it's time to make money. Look, they said this, go to college, we're just gonna give you debt. And we still gonna have you at the same spot you was before you went to college. This is not picking at black women, I'm talking about the black people. I'm just saying because black women are the ones in college the most now. You said I had to get $300 to glad you were here. Yeah, I appreciate it. But I'll tell you like this, I want black people to know that you're losing because, and they don't talk about the stuff that makes you lose. The stuff that's making us lose is this: get all the degrees that you want. But if I have to continue to run into racist people that are not trying to put me in the position that I deserve to be in, where am I going? Let me give you an example. People say right now, one thing I cannot stand is when I hear a black person say, I don't want no cash reparation. I want cash. I deserve cash because that's how they built it, on cash. But cash reparations and land is the 2 things that I'll take, and I'll accept both of those together. Outside of that, I don't want anything else that you can bury. Don't give me your education. Why the fuck would I want that? And I hear black folks say that all the time, and I know you're an enemy to your culture when you say that. Oh, just give me your education. Why would I want education from you? You want me to get the education? Great. I go up to school, get all the education I want. Great. I did it. Oh my God. Summa cum laude, or whatever they say. You know what I'm saying. Now I hit the job market. Oops, we didn't deal with that part. Dang. God. So now, black Americans are the most educated people in the country, bar none. They surpass Asians and whites and everyone else. They're the most educated, period. Back close, gonna say, I told you we the greatest things ever. Well, look at us, we the greatest. We have meat. And you have black folks around here saying this stupid shit. We have beat them. We are great. Now we just need to pull ourselves up. Because we gonna still be losing. And they're gonna tell you it's still your fault because you got all the education, but now you're just being lazy. No, if I do not own any of the industry, if I can't get into the industries, then what do you think is going to happen to me? I'm going to be broke. Doesn't matter if my dad's at home or not. They're constantly making excuse. Same thing they say when it comes to race. Nothing's about race. Stop making it about race. It's not about race. Oh my God, it's not about race. Get out of here. It's not about race. Okay. Then why is it always one of the factors in play is the person's race? See, I'm a science head. I'm a science guy. You look at variables. If one of the variables come up every time, that's going to become one of the core variables of why this happens. When they do a simulation and a study on us as people, as humans, and things that they do, they take core variables out of it. And if that thing happens consistently, it is a part of it. Why is it that it's the case? But when it comes to Negroes, we say, nah, let's disregard that. That's not true anymore. And I agree with you. With AI, education is done. They ready to put school out. Yo, I'm glad you said that. Who said that? Good God, I can't see it. Let me see who that. Can't even see the name. Can't see it. But you ever said that? You hit it on the head. You are so right. AI is going to put school out of business, and you're already watching it. How many schools have closed? They're changing the rules at school. They're removing things from school. School. Look, listen, people. School was only designed by them white tea folks because they wanted to control you. They wanted to build a slave. Oh my God! Somebody down here comment. I'll get down into YouTube in a second. So you got people that. So that's the only reason why they built the school system. Remember, nobody really went to school like that. Now they don't need it anymore. I have AI. Hold on, let me see what YouTube talking about. Hold on. Get down. I gotta see something. Probably somebody angry. Hold on. Oh, what's going on, Pamper? I can't see what you said down there, but I appreciate you. I'm gonna pull it up later. But no, I promise you that bothers me. That, and I keep telling people, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I'm sorry, I lost my spot. I'm sorry. What did she say? I don't even know what she's talking about.
There's no money in music.
There's no money.
Music.
Yeah. There's no money in music.
There's no money in actual music because in the digital era in the era that we're in now, streaming era.
Yeah.
I want people to understand it takes 80 streams on Apple Music to make $1. You have to listen to this song 80 times to make $1.
Wow.
So if you understand that,
Who's listening to the same song 80 times?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
1 million streams is $4,000.
What?
Yeah. 1 million streams is $4,000.
Wow.
So should rappers take their music off stream to get it back to where people got to pay real money to get it?
Yep. I would.
I think I don't even know the numbers. I got like 20 billion streams. I ain't really seen no big bag off of that.
1,500 streams is one spin or one record sale or something. That ain't
50. So, oh wow. So, and y'all probably couldn't hear Jada because Jada's background music, but Jada could say 1,500 streams equals one album sale, basically. You're like, look, my people. There's so many different directions we can go with this because I could talk about the fact of, even though it looks amazing, I fell victim to it too. I wanted to be in the business as well. Wanted to be an entertainer as a young fella myself. Wanted to do it. Got into stand up. Did it for 12 years. Did all that. But I am the anti-celebrity now, and I tell you why. And it's because that business has used us. They have monetized us. They have used those same imageries to collectively harm us, to build a narrative about who we are as an existence. We join in it because we are the slaves in their movies that are lies. We become the people in the stories that they want to make us. We're the Tyrones with the do-rag on and the 40 ounce. We do all the things because they made it look like it was glamorous. That is what the award show is for. When they put on the big, beautiful suits and the beautiful dresses, and everybody shows up in their celebration, and everyone has tears, and everyone they do that to tell you that it is worth it. When they give you the money that they don't pay you well enough in, but they tell you to be around it, they give you enough to make you say, I'm different. Do you know entertainers, black entertainers, make no money? I'll give you an example. I said this the other day, Drew Sidora is on one of the Real Housewives or something. Drew Sidora said, that they said that she makes $26,000 an episode, I think it was. Now, that's a good piece of change. It is per episode, because I think it's like 20 some episodes. So I think I did the math, it was something over like 500, 600,000. But see, the problem is this. Even at that level, and I bet you she obviously got to be one of the messier ones, because I know they ain't paying everybody that. But because I've seen some of these $2,500, $1,500 salaries they giving people on network television shows. You thinking these people living a good life off at the beach and shit, and they ain't. They making $1,500 and giving up their entire existence, all of their privacy, everything. They look like clowns on TV, all for nothing. They said Jocelyn Hernandez made no money on Love and Basketball or one season. I don't know if she did eventually, but I heard Kate Michelle say at least at one point she made no money. Does that mean this woman made a complete ass out of herself for nothing? No, these people are robbing us at every turn for our collective. We're brilliant. Again, I want people to understand the reason why you can't come at me is because I want it for you, and I think that these people don't. The people that are in control, the people that we all know by name, never sound like me, ever. They never say what you deserve. They never say what they think you should get. They never say when you are harmed. They get Obama at best. If we cornered him and asked him what he thinks about what's going on, he's gonna say, I think we need to pray about it right now. The country needs healing. Of course it does, because you can't say you don't care to say. Michelle Obama, right now, she has her own fucking platform. You ain't in office. I don't want to hear about politics when you ain't in it no more. So if you ain't in it no more, use your platform. If you say you sister girl part of the culture, I don't ever see these people talking about anything of irrelevant. Look, why does all of our popular podcasts have to be entertainment podcasts? We are under attack, and none of them feel the need. And when they do, they just tell you to vote for the Democrats. Can someone tell me the massive platform, Tariq Nasheed is the only one that has a massive platform. Willie D has a massive platform that speaks to your culture that has a massive one. They do it unapologetic. I can't think of many others. Man, maybe Jason Black, but I don't even know if he reached their level. But I'm saying you have people that are running around here with millions of followers, and these people never speak to something that's going to move us. It's always, listen, we got to learn to have, and I'm going to tell you, I listen to Roland, and these people say this shit all the time, and it bothers me, and I've realized the game. You ever heard people say this to you? It says, okay, hold on one second. Okay, I'm going to check that. You know what they say to me? They say this all the time. Yeah, let's just continue the conversation. Let's continue the conversation. And the thing that I always say with that continued conversation, that's the game. That's how they got you. It was that damn conversation. That conversation is what messed us up. Because they have you in a perpetual loop of talking about stuff that ain't about nothing. You're talking about things that's not going to move you in any direction whatsoever. Not in a positive one. Right now, again, collectively, people, they are attacking our food, our air, our water, our children, our women's reproductive, our men's mental health. Every time we hear about the crises, I'm tired of seeing a Hollywood Unlocked page give me some twerking video right behind it. He want to talk about mental health, but in the twerking video, it's causing me mental health, but you don't need to kill. I'm just joking. I'm just saying, man, we getting raked over the coals at every turn, and everybody, we just do a status quo. And if you won't stay in status quo, then they call you a problem. I would be a problem. You listen right now, know if you hear me right now, if anyone at a mass number heard me, they would say he's a problem. I don't like him. No one's gonna ask me to go sit down with Jay Leno. Let's talk about what you think we should do to the community. Because I would love to have a conversation. Let me talk. I always say this. Let me talk to the Obama. Let me sit down on Michelle Obama show. I promise you, it ain't probably gonna come out. Let me sit down on the Breakfast Club. If I'm gonna bring it, you can ask me what you want, but I'm always bring the conversation back to what black folks need to get and why we ain't getting it. And why ain't nobody asking these folks that's in the lead. These people speak to us every day on a political level. I have to be bombarded with political conversation every day, but every day somebody's making an excuse why somebody can do something against me, against us. Y'all realize that most of the commentary that we hear all time online about CNN and MSNBC is them justifying the crap that is happening to us. They have so much is happening to you at one time that they have to do a 24-hour news cycle of how you just ain't seeing what you seeing. Let's move on. Anyways, I digress. And I'm being honest with you, the lies are just out of hand. What's this right here?
Can you please put your hands up, those of you who welcome the ban. Hands up.
Okay, hold on, not that. I don't want to see that. Oh, and then like this right here. This was so funny. So, good God, my bad. So, another thing about the war. This is how I say all this is a theater and this is a game. Y'all do know that they're ready to put us into a shortage crisis in many ways. We're going to have a gas shortage, of course, water shortage, of course, electrical, your energy shortage, of course. You're going to start seeing a shortage of all of the things. You're already seeing the shortage in car parts. You're starting to see the shortage in all of these things. You're seeing it. And I say all the time, L. Dot, nice to meet you. For your first time here, I appreciate you. I really would appreciate you if you shared the live. Really do. Just share it. Everyone share it one time. I would greatly appreciate it, and I would love you for it. Love you. But I will tell you this. When I look at this, all of this is theater. Iran is in on it with the United States. People say, that don't make sense. You don't know what you're talking about. It's all theater. The only way 7% of the world's population can dominate the world, it has to be a collective build amongst everybody. That's just too small of a number. And these times like this proves my point. What am I saying? So even though now we are backing out of what we were doing with Iran, and even though because we went to Iran, it caused us to have a gas shortage prices. So now our gas prices are through the roof. They're not coming back down, people. I hate to tell you. So since they're not going to really come back down, does it really make sense that now we're going to give them $300 billion to rebuild from all the bombing? Excuse me. I love TikTok Shop. All of the pew-pewing we did over there. So now we're going to collectively give them $300 billion. So we did it. It caused a crisis for us. And we're going to turn around and give them money to rebuild. Sounds like to me, at the end of the day, it was never about them and it was all about us. It was all about getting us to pay more. It was getting us to believe in a crisis. Give you another one. I've been watching oil rig guys say the same thing. I haven't heard anyone refute this. You know how they say oil is not in the surplus. It's going to run out. It's kind of technically true, but not true. I've heard multiple guys that do these oil rigs say when they leave one of those areas and they move over, they leave when they taps out. They go somewhere else. But guess what happens over time? They go back and they restart doing it again. Why? Because it's regenerated itself. Oil is infinite. Water is infinite in there. What it is that they're telling you is a shortage so they can control it. Same reason why they keep telling you the world is overpopulated and we need to decrease all these people because it's overpopulated. No, it's not. I've driven around the United States and it's nothing but open freaking land. What are you talking about? Is over. You go overseas. If you go to Africa, ain't nothing but open land ever got there go well. What are you talking about? Just no land. No, you want to create a shortage. Created shortages cause a thing called supply and demand. So what they have is this is a supply and demand thing that they're trying to build for you. And what it is as mindless dum-dums as we are, I love TikTok Shop. Mindless dummies as we are, what we're going to do is we're going to turn around and then we're going to actually capitulate. We're going to do exactly what they want us to do, and then we're going to get in line. So as of right now, like you say, we're going to eventually, whether they want to make it universal basic income, where they pay us our stipend every month, food, clothing, shelter, and they'll take care of us from the government. And if we get out of line, they'll shorten your food, clothing, and shelter. Either that's going to happen, or they're going to put you in 15-minute cities and they're going to restrict your movements like they're already talking about to just those 15-minute cities. And then you can't go anywhere else. You're going to lose more freedom. As they take all the resources and everything else, and they're going to still come into those cities, pluck off your children, take them and do all kinds of vile, nasty things to them, and you'll never see them again. To feed their nasty, vile appetites because we refuse as a collective to say enough. We all see it and it's enough. No, we just keep saying, no, man, no. Just keep doing what I'm doing every day. Keep doing what I'm doing. Let me tell you something, but I'm going to tell you why I'm not mad at everybody. For all of us not collectively stopping it. Because you ain't got time to even think about it. Your rent due on the 1st, and it's already the what? What is it? What is the day? I don't even know the day. It's the 18th. I ain't got time to think about that. Today is the 18th. I ain't got a few more days for rent be due. I get it. And they get it too. I just noticed the world that we live in is built in a specific way, and that way is built on purpose, and they built that because they wanted us to be indebted to them. They wanted us to be their sheeple, to do and move and do exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted that, and that's what they get it until we stop it. So anyways, people, that's all I wanted to say when it came to this topic. It bothers my spirit It bothers me that I'm watching in so many different ways and so many different times black folks get attacked. And then I'm telling you guys, I'm so upset with the black folks of the culture. Everybody else I don't care nothing else about. I expect you to do it. But if you're a part of our culture and you out here making justifications, Anton Daniels, you making justifications, Charleston White, Stephen A. Smith, you out here making justifications for the vile treatment of our children for any fucking reason. I don't care what the reason is. If you make a justification for it, then you don't need to be a part of it. One thing I'm going to definitively tell you, when I see a young lady walking around with her little pink thing hanging out, with her little booty shorts on, things like that, and if something happened to her, one thing I would never tell that woman if something happened to her is that you asked for it. Because she didn't ask for it. No one asks you to go put your hands on somebody else and do things to other people. No one ever asks for it. We saying that this is not respectable. You know the reasons why we saying that, but ain't nobody ever saying it. Anyways, I digress. But anyway, let me see. It was another thing I want to talk about. Real quick while I got you people. I appreciate you people. Hit the like button. I've shared it live. I appreciate you guys, man. I do. Let me say this real quick. On L.Scott's page, if anybody's still over in here, if the audio is bad, I'm going to give you a different setup tomorrow. Because the way they got it working out just isn't working. So, my bad. ATM, my Pete, and I appreciate you letting me know. Last thing I wanted to discuss before I got out here with you guys today. You want to do one more topic? Let's do it. Yeah, you do. Yeah, shit, yeah, you do. Other thing I wanted to talk about, and I've brought this up before, and again, let me preface this with the conversation I'm ready to have. Let me preface it with, again, I'm ready to have a conversation about indigenous black America, whether we are indigenous or we are slave babies off of boats. And I'm ready to have a conversation, but I want to have it in good context, and I want to have it in good faith, and I want people to understand, since you do not know LDOT, I want you to understand my viewpoints on this, at least a little bit, a synopsis of it, so you know this is not in a hateful space. This is not in a space where I do not, I don't want to come off as a hateful person, because I'm not. I'm just telling you, I am a self-proclaimed researcher. I am a historian. I dive, I dig. Got a documentary I'm doing on indigenous history. You don't do docs without doing digging. And I'm going to tell you, it's just, as you start diving into the story, I get it. We go into the school system. You went into the same school system I went into. And when we got into it, they told us a story and they drilled that shit in our head. Drilled it in your head, your mama head, your grandmama head, and we all took it. One thing I'm going to tell you, sometimes bad things happening to the culture in turn ends up as being a good thing. What do I mean? We went home for COVID and they messed all our lives up. This whole ding that we going through now with this stuff, it messed up people's internals, and now we messed us up financially because they've been crapping us ever since that thing hit the ground, right? And I'm talking about that thing they put in your arm. Bing, 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 bing. I'm talking about that. But one thing I know to be true, sometimes good things happen in bad situations. What happened good in that situation was they sent everyone home. And one thing I want my black people to understand is that, no, let me slow it down. If you guys will rock with me real quick, I want to make this serious. I don't want to make a game. I really want you to feel me on this. I want you to slow down and understand that black Americans it's like we've been treated with, they have induced us like in this cocaine-induced, drug-laced living, but we don't know we're getting shot up. Or like Munchausen syndrome, your mom's or somebody is poisoning you slowly, so it's affecting the way that you think and move and how your emotions and all those things is. And see, but in your core nature of yourself, there's a brilliance there. Think of like any movie you've seen when someone's brilliant, but they're on drugs, or they're brilliant and they're schizophrenic, but they're brilliant. That's Black America. See, once you started diving into the way this world looked before these people got here, you built something that was so amazing that of course they hid it from you. And I'm gonna get into it a little bit. But I wanted to start there because I want people to understand this is not about disrespecting the boat. See, mathematically, I say this all the time, it's impossible. Whether it's 12.5 or even to 100 million like John Henry Clark used to talk about. It is mathematically impossible to do this in that time frame. That is the first nugget that failed for me. Because for one, it's, hey, something may, but let's keep digging. You don't take one piece of evidence and run with it, okay? One of the evidences today, Michael Blackson's talking about it. Let him say this, and I'll say it. Let him say it.
I've been going home and doing a lot of research. Mind you, I'm from there. I was born in Africa. I was born in West Africa, where they came and they took my people and made them slaves and do that whole process. Yeah. But I didn't know much about slavery till I came to America.
I had to stop it there because they're playing music. I didn't want to play it but a few seconds to play it, but that's it. So, and y'all have heard that before. I know this to be true. And the reason why that is because the same way they make up stories about Carmelo Hayes and how violent he was. Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Anthony. And how he woke up that morning with violence. The same way that Trayvon just decided, even though he got the best of him, he just wanted to be violent with George Zimmerman, even though he didn't ask for any of that. Tamir Rice, even though it was a toy that he was obviously going to hurt someone with, the cop just jumped. All these things they make up, these things are not real. What it is that, and let me get back to the point. When you went home in 2020, let me just say it this way. When you went home in 2020, all that genius that is you was allowed time to bubble back to the surface because you didn't have to get up and rush to work. You didn't have to get up and do that day-to-day living by getting the kids pressed and ready for school. You sat on the internet and you looked at things and rabbit holes went open and other rabbit holes open for others. And it became this thing to the world that their story that they had fed us about slavery cracked all up. Because people started doing research and research was coming out. Then you realize that they actually had all the information of who you really are sitting right there in their government document that they said no one's looking for them, so let's leave them there. So when people nowadays, and like I said, I'm not trying to make it about people who saying we're pretending. I'm not doing any of bad faith. I'm trying to get people to understand. And this is not to any of those people. You can say whatever you want. But your Black American people come from this soil. Your people have been on this soil for so long that you built the entire infrastructure that they turned around and told you that they built. The same way I always say this to people, the same way country music is white music now, the same way they try to take hip hop music and make it theirs, they're going to backdoor it again there. The same way they try to act like jazz music is theirs too now, they always backdoor your stuff. Why? Because you create so much in 200 years. If this world is still functioning in the way it does today, I promise you this. Hip-hop music will not be a Black American music anymore. It won't. Country music will not have been started. It will be an Elvis Presley started music. They're gonna, all that stuff. And there's gonna be people like me in the future gonna say stuff. No, that's not true. The documentation that they have said this, and this, and they're gonna say, oh, he's just pseudoscience. Oh, the Negroes just trying to make everything about them again. That's all they do. I want you to ask yourself, we're gonna do a couple of common sense things that I think of, and we're not even gonna dive into facts. I'm just gonna use common sense, and then if you want to do facts, let's do facts. But common sense will tell you this: when a country is in its infancy, meaning 1776, infancy, you saying at this point we don't have nothing but horse and buggy, no power tools, no electricity, no nothing, no cameras, no nothing. At this point, we are primitive people. Then why would primitive people build buildings by the thousands that would take more manpower than the population that we had at the time? The buildings that are left, remember, you got to think the Chicago, the Phillies, the New Yorks, the San Franciscos, the Tampas, and I keep going to DCs, all these major cities that were built out. They're telling you that even the buildings that are left, because remember, each one of these cities had a fire story. It's not just Chicago. It means that every place that you could think of that had nothing but old world architecture got burned down. And you have to understand this. Stone doesn't burn. Brick doesn't burn. How did the buildings burn down and they're made of stone? They were bombed. Why would you bomb all that beautiful architecture? Because you can't explain it away. They're already struggling to explain away the stuff that they have now. But again, we was fed one story for decades and decades and decades until they sent you home. And they sent people home, and I'm going to tell you, the floodgates have opened. The reason why, I say this to people all the time, they know, like you know, if If you were just off the slave ship, let's go common sense. The Atlantic Ocean is the most treacherous waters. Hold on one second. Pro FIK. Put in the comment section what you would like to converse about, and I'll call you up. I had to be very leery, my people. Let me tell you why I'm very leery about pulling people up unvetted. I did it when I first started, and you know what happened when I first started? People would put up, when they didn't like what I said, they would put things on the screen that would cause the live to be banned. That would cause me to have now strikes. I have 2 strikes. If I get a third one, I no longer can go live. I will lose my channel. So I'm gonna need to know what your purpose is before I can call you up. That's why I tell people to follow the backup page, the L.Scott page on TikTok. It's because I'm trying to build the following from this page to that one, because I know eventually they're gonna get it. But I'm all right. What was that? I'm just trying to get people. Let me just say this. Look. All of the old writings describe melanated people. That's using more common sense. If you travel anywhere, whether you go, like I said, I have family who just went to Belize and they went to Turks and Caicos, right? Nothing but black folks, right? You're gonna say, yeah, of course, the slave trade. No. If you go to Fiji, if you go to South America, if you go to Africa, if you go anywhere, every time they pull a bone out the ground and every time you find an indigenous people, they're always melanated. So again, how did that happen all over the entire planet? But they skipped this beautiful piece of land that has all this amazing stuff that white people built in 200 years. I said this on one show. We do behind the scenes. I said this on one show one time and it upset some white people, but it's got the truth. They told you since recorded history, mankind could build no more than basically the wheel outside of Rome, Egypt, and Greece. That's how they talk about maybe some of the Genghis Khan them and stuff. They talk about those 4, but outside of those 4 civilizations, everybody could not build anything outside of the wheel. We couldn't produce anything, no electricity, no nothing, no running water, we did none of this. And then in the 1800s, some peasant people from Europe who had no usable skill sets, that's why they came here, because they couldn't make no living where they were at, all came together on this one piece of soil right here. And it's the forefathers of all modern technology, all started right here on this one piece of soil from them peasants. At the same time, they have things called the Dawes Rolls, where they would remove Native Americans and put Negro there. Why would you have to do that if there were no Negro natives? Why would you have to do that if there were no colored natives? Why would you have to do that if there were no black natives? See, no. These are just the most amazing, these greatest people in the world. And I keep telling y'all, this don't make sense either. The majority of the white people you see in this nation right now came after 1890. That means all of that beautiful architecture in New York, all that beautiful architecture in Philly and Chicago and San Francisco and all them other places got built by 3 people. They were able to find all of these scrap materials of marble and stones and bricks and that were laying around the Americas and build these palaces because there was no companies producing all of this stuff at the time. Those horses that they used didn't need any water because they was able to go hundreds of miles, because a lot of these quarries, they said some of the places like Detroit, some of their buildings got they got stuff from quarries out of Alabama. So you mean to tell me horses took stones and bricks and marble and granite and they put them on the back of horses and drug it to drug it all the way to Detroit? That was more economical than cutting down a fucking tree where you at right now, like you do today, and build a house, build a building, build a church. Yes, they stole your ancestors. Oh, yes, they stole the names. People don't even know that. Let me tell you something, people. They always like to say, we even took your name. You guys use our language. No, we don't. Half of the stuff that we say here in America is an offshoot of indigenous words. Tuscaloosa is an indigenous word. Mobile is an indigenous word. Alabama is an indigenous word. These are indigenous words that they have co-opted into English. Let me tell you something else you don't know. If the Siberian Red Native is the one that was here first, then why did they have to go to Indian schools and learn native languages that white people taught them? Yes, I'm going to slow that down and I'm going to say it again. Why is it that they made Indian schools where they had to teach the Indian people their indigenous language through white tea people? Does that make sense? No, that don't make sense. It don't make sense because none of it makes sense. What this is a complete fabrication of a story. Again, I say this all the time. People say all the time that these dudes were just gangster. They went to Africa, beat you up. They went to America, beat you up. They went to South America, beat you up, and just took it. We taking all that land because we bad soldiers, all the white team. Isn't that the story they love to tell? They'll get into a black person's space right now. We just whooped up on all you guys. You guys were weak. We just beat you. And then I thought to myself, you did that so much, you said, allegedly, to the natives here in America, that we just wiped out hundreds of millions of these people. They just gone. They ain't even here no more. But I'm going to get into that story in a second again, too, why they said that story. But you whooped up on them so bad that you removed them because you whooped up on them because they had bow and arrows and they was not against your weaponry. You were superior, even though it's a musket. Remember, a musket, I always say it, you got to stuff it, you shoot it, it may shoot over there, it may not shoot at all, it may blow up on you if you don't know. I love TikTok Shop, I do. But that superior weaponry beat up on all of those native people who had home field advantage, who are superior when it comes to athleticism and things like that. They just got whooped a bone. Yes, no. Because if they were doing it to you that way then, why they don't do it to you like that now? It's the same open enemy you say you had. It's the same one you say you just beat on and punch on and beat out and beat and knock them around. If you did it then, when there was no camera, no video, no nothing to validate the stuff that you saying, other than the books that you wrote and the books that says, nah, that ain't what happened. You said, that's quackery. Get it out of here. I wonder why. Because you want me to believe you something you ain't. No. The way that you lost control of this, I do not know specifically. But I can tell you this, if I use my common sense, the reason black folks do no longer run this nation has nothing to do with fisticuffs. It has everything to do with lies and deceit, trickery and pinning people against others. That is the way that you work. That is the way they work now. That is the way they work then. That is how you lost your spot. What did you say? To a hot Africa to take them to a hot South Carolina with no sunscreen. Look, the story makes no sense. None of this makes no sense. What it is that, but I get it. And the reason why people fight you so hard is because, let me just say it like it. You, black person from the Americas, and I want you people in Jamaica and places for y'all to understand this too. Y'all just don't realize it, but this includes y'all. And when I say includes y'all, meaning the soil that you own is your indigenous soil as well. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Who said that? Is it Nini? I can't see the name. I appreciate you for coming in. That is your soil. That's your soil as well. So again, I'm not saying that we all come to America and get, no, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, Haiti, you didn't fight off people that brought you to this soil. Haitians, that is your land. That is your soil. You fought off your colonizers that came into your space. So what I want people to understand is this is our stuff here. It's written in all the documents. Again, I'll give you something else. I say this all the time. If we're just an offshoot of Africans that's just displaced, well, I don't even want to do it because then we're going to, well, I might as well. Let's look. We have so many different things. Look up who in the world who has more sickle. Who's the group of people who suffer from sickle cell anemia? I want you to look that up, okay? And then I want you to tell yourself, why is it just that one group? If we just an offshoot of other Africans, why aren't all Africans suffering from sickle cell? It's really black American. I'm gonna give you something else they said. Remember in the old writings, they talked about Native Americans. They talked about Native Americans. You couldn't give them milk and you can't give, because they were lactose intolerant. So Native Americans don't drink milk. And then they said that you can't give them alcohol because they're drunkards, right? So that's how you mess them up. Again, I want you to pay attention to the hijack. Let's look at Black life. These are in early writings, they talk about this. What group of people is lactose intolerant? Niggles.
got a drunk uncle, drunk daddy, drunk grandfather that couldn't get off the bottle because all he did was drunk his whole life? Who got a small town that got a dude in the town, all he do is drink all day long because he can't have alcohol? Black folks. They keep okie doking you. They keep telling you stuff, moving the goalposts, moving around. I'm telling you. Hold on a second. They messing up my weather name. Boom, gotcha. So what I just want people to understand. I see the game. They just play it. Most people just can't see the ins and outs of what's happening. The story's falling apart. And the reason why it's falling apart is because all the things that makes them superior, they never do superiorly. Like, if you use your common sense now, they say they're intellectually superior. We go to other people to do that, Asians and other people like that. Then you see Africans and black folks still building things that their children are building things they shouldn't know how to. How many times you seen a black kid, from whether it's here in America or abroad, build a cell phone out of some duct tape and glue? White kids are afforded all these opportunities to do this stuff. You don't really see them doing that unless they're into it. These kids have nothing. These kids get books from the 40s and they go out here and build things. These kids have no books sometimes and build things because the ingenuity, the epigenetics, the things that makes you an amazing group of people is the things that start creeping back into these children. Let me tell you something. Let's go deeper, people. They didn't open up the school system just because they wanted to corrupt your children's mind. They wanted to make sure them black children stopped being, they wanted to dumb our children down because they didn't want the ingenuity to keep coming out. When you put them in front of Sesame Street and you put them in front of all of this stuff, and that was back then. Now, when you put them in front of Disney, which is full of cesspool and imageries and things like this, they are stifling their creativity. They're no longer going to be producing things at a higher clip, and it's starting to show. Where's the music that we were doing that was amazing, that we could put out? Y'all remember the 90s and backwards. Every time you put out music all year long, it was just nothing but hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. Hits didn't just last once, every once in a while. You could look at the top 10 and every song is in your playlist today from 1997. You're not getting that anymore because they are stifling in at every turn. And I believe it because black people are amazing. Reason why I say that, and let me get serious and slow down when I say this part. Every person in the world was allowed to keep their history. But for some reason, when they came to these Americas, they said, no, you have to take their history right along with all of their wealth. See, I don't think you understand what I'm saying, people. See, they could have just come in and took it and said, I'm taking that. Because that's what they tell you in the books. I'm taking that. They could have just took it and then New York could be their city. Chicago's their city. All that could be their city. I get that. They could have done that. Why didn't they do that? Why do they have to be you? Because something is different about you. Now, that comes off arrogant. I'm not saying it arrogantly. What I'm saying to you is, classic example. I don't think the X-Men, y'all anybody remember the X-Men movie? I don't think the X-Men, just because they were X-Men, saw a civilian and said, I'm better than you. I'm built different. Unfortunately. I'm just built differently, unfortunately. And unfortunately, these Americas have built the oldest civilization in the world. There are aspects of this country that most of you are not privy to even knowing existed. There are cities and things in this place. There are artifacts. There are pyramids. There are all this stuff is here. The pyramids in the Americas outdated and are older than the ones in Africa. Tell me how that is possible. The reason why they gave you this, we wiped out 100 million red natives when we got here is because they had to explain away these niggers. And they brought those folks in here to replace you. I need for Africans to know that I'm not saying that there is no direct link between the two of us. I am not saying that. I do believe these greedy mother brought people from over there. I do. I do believe that because I'm gonna tell you, I've done my genealogy. In my genealogy, I've actually had one, and it's crazy because I got family go back all the way. I can get back to the 1600 and go overseas. But what I'm telling you is, I have one family member that was enslaved on one side and one slave on my father's side. So my mother and my father's side both had one that I can find, and I'm back to 1600 in some spots. 1700 is a lot. I get there a lot. And when I get to that spot and I'm seeing all of this, I'm thinking to myself, yes, I know this is in here. I know this is a part of it. What I'm saying to you is this. You're not going to tell me, after all the information I have found, and I am still on this soil, I am connected to this soil. I am my grandmama in this ground, my great grandmama in the ground here. I know where their grave sites is at. I'm not gonna overlook that. My family built these tunnels that these people are moving goods and services into now. My family built these places. They say black slaves built DC. Slaves didn't build DC. Black Americans built DC. Stop letting them use words on you. That was the trickery of words. They make it sound like a bunch of enslaved people. I promise you, all of DC was there before. Look up Norman Baker. I am not taking any of this ingenious stuff away from my people. So for people to say he's crapping on, I'm not. The same people that they're telling you they were enslaved are the same people I'm talking about. I'm telling you the story don't fit the way they say it fit. I want black people to understand, even though they dwarf us allegedly in size here in America, majority of their people got here in 1890 to 1920. So all those boats of those immigrants, that's how those people got here. When they tell you how they built the Americas, they family just got here. They knew booty. It just makes no sense. You said your family built DC and still own it today. They were yes, they were artists. I agree with you. I could see what you read a bit. Yes, look, if you look at the architecture in Memphis, you look at the architecture, and I always tell people this. You're talking to a brother who's somewhat traveled, and I still have not yet to find a city yet that trumps Chicago in beauty. They try to convince, and I show people all the time, so I'm not gonna go back into Chicago again, because Chicago just tells all on it. Chicago tells you, two cities that if you do the research on the cities, and if you look at it in the right lens like you're supposed to, you're gonna find out that San Francisco and Chicago just basically null and voids the story of what the Americas are. It null and voids it. There's no way that those things could be, there's no way possible those cities could be built in the time frame that they were, period. Point blank third, it can't. It can't. You can call me a pretendian, you can call me what you want, but what you can't tell me is how the fuck that's possible. What I think people need to understand is I don't get hung up on the names that we were called. I don't know anymore. These people have so much hiding and moving information. All that I know is every time I look up, they taking something from us. In my lifetime, I've watched them take our music. I watched them take platforms. I watch people, we come up with ideas, it becomes theirs. Even down to black women figured out the bonnet and a white tea lady tried to take that too. So I watch you in my own time, in real time, watch you lie, cheat, and steal to take from my culture all the time and then tell me, no, it didn't. They're telling, with that hip hop documentary, Microphone Check, in this movie, everyone collectively agrees these are the pioneers that are in this movie, and they are saying who and who was not there. And yet still this country will get on TV, get in front of you and say, that's not true. You all agreed that these are the people who started it, and they're telling you. No, what it is, you can't own nothing, because I think they think if you realize you can do something, that's why they tell you to sit it down. Let me say it this way. You want to know why there were so many cities in the early 1900s and they're no longer there? Because they had to remove them because they have been around for a very long time. See, people seem to think that small towns didn't exist. Yes, they did. You know how I know they did? Go look at your downtown. There's stone brick buildings in those places. They're just not as big. They're not as massive inside. See, I start to understand See, you want to know the worst thing that is happening to the culture? I'm gonna get out of here after this. You want to know the worst thing that's happening to the culture right now? It's the machine. It's the media machine. Whatever movie they put out becomes true, even when they put in the beginning of it, this is based on some on a historical fact, but some things have been changed, blah, 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 blah. We hear that, we read that, and we still equate the film as being collectively 100% true, from Malcolm X to James Brown. That is not a collective 100% truth. That is someone's interpretation of what the truth is. So if now the United States of this country, the thing that they have always given, exactly, Roots, the United States have given us this story of how we lived in these plantations off in the middle of nowhere, and all that we had was these small towns with these wooden buildings and saloons and all this other stuff. We have been inundated with that imagery for years and decades, and I understand why now, because that's how you view it. That's how you think it really was. Never mind all of these massive buildings that are at the same time were being built that never showed up in the movie. I'm gonna tell you something else, people, that I said it to my people recently, and if you agree with this, definitely hit the like button. Y'all notice that even though people, I said this the other day, so some people may have heard this, but I told you this blew my mind, and y'all have never thought of this. When Europeans traveled the world, as they tell us, the story they tell us, they left out of Europe and they conquered the world. They went to Australia and removed all the Australians, and they moved in. They in there, and they still there to this day. And we hear their tones. Australians, you can still hear the undertones of their British accents. Not yes, no, yes, yes, yes. They have an Australian, ahoy, mate. I can't say it, but they still have their accents, but you hear the British undertone. South Africans, when I hear Elon Musk talk, I can hear his British undertones to his language. I can hear them. I can hear their European accent just oozing out of there. Black people, can you ask yourself one question? Why is it that Europeans in America have never had a European accent? I don't care if it's a movie in the, I told you 80% of them got here in between 1890 and 1920. That means when we got here, that accent would be heavy. People to this day would still have that accent. Because remember, we don't have any of the indigenous language anymore. We wiped them out. So who changed the dialect and tones of these people's voices? Can't be the enslaved people. We took theirs, remember? We couldn't speak African tones. We had to speak their tones. So explain to me why the Europeans, when they got here, none of them have European accents. Why is it that when you watch a movie from the 1890s, 1900s, early movies, whatever it is, and they want to do a reenactment, and they want to tell you this is how it was, nobody that's in here has a European accent? Why doesn't the slave owners have European accents? Why don't we hear stuff from the Library of Congress when they be playing old video footage from people from their day? None of them have European accents. Something is not right. And I'm saying I don't know what it is, but I can definitively tell you it ain't what you said it is. So for the people who say he's just a Potendian and he ain't talking about nothing, you gonna have to answer those questions before I can go back and put a kente cloth on. Because one thing I definitively know, when I have looked back at my genealogy, I have names. When I look at my when I look at my family tree, I sit there sometimes and I'll cut the lights down low and I'll look at it and I look at their names and I'll try to envision what their lives was like. That's my family. And you keep telling me, and I'm gonna tell you, for me, I don't engage in the conversation because I don't want to get in back and forth with melanated people. But I'm gonna tell you, please don't bring that to me. Because if you ever bring that to me, you just gonna go back to the continent. I don't take open disrespect well. I don't. And what you did, you just disrespected my ancestors, and I don't take that very well. And I'm telling you, that's how I take it. Because I see my family's name. This is my family's soil. And I'm watching people who just showed up yesterday, these Asian folks and these other people, and I'm not trying to single people out, but people are showing up, Johnny come lately, telling me about my people, my family built this. And I don't know why people keep allowing these people to say whatever they want to. I'm not doing that no more. No. If you want me to go back and believe another story, you're going to give me something that makes more sense than this. Again, I always say this to people before I get out of here. I always say this, for some odd freaking reason, think of any thought, think of anything you don't know the answer to, anything that has ever perplexed you in life, and you say, let me do a deep dive. You gonna find out 9 times out of 10, it's going to end with a fabricated story somehow, some way. I don't understand why to me, let me say this and I'm done. Let me say this and I'm done. Because I'm been hiding, I'm gonna get myself in trouble talking this conversation. This is why I say I have to question everything. I question religion, I question science, because I question everything. Let me say it this way. Don't ever let no one just say something blanket to you without explaining it to you. The world has gotten to a space to where as long as the collective keeps regurgitating it, they never have to explain it. Hey, something's different. I'm reading this thing about this firmament that's over the earth right now, and they're saying that we can't leave here. So where are these people say they're going on these planes? Those people are idiots. No, I didn't ask you if they were idiots. I said, I'm reading about this in old books and stuff, and like they're showing me things, and I'm seeing this stuff. It is. But can you explain why did the encyclopedia say that thing was real before NASA came along? Oh God, you believe in this flat Earth stuff? Again, I didn't say I believed anything. I'm coming to you because you said you're a scientist. You said this was. I'm just trying for you to validate why I'm never any answer. The answer you're gonna get at every form of fashion when you start pulling back layers on everything that you do, they're gonna say to you, you're just an idiot for believing it. Oh, you're just a pretendian. You just said something to invalidate me, but I have records and I have documentations and I have common fucking sense that says what you're saying to me needs more context than I'm just a pretendian. For people who get online, I see it all the time. My channel, you're gonna go on there. Go on my page, guys. When you leave here today, don't leave now. Don't leave your shit. Wait, just wait. If you go on my channel out there, you're not gonna see a lot of viewership. They don't give me viewership. The conversation I'm having resonates with you, and I know it does. I don't even need to see it from you. I don't need you to tell me it does. I know it resonates with you, the people that are from here, because you know I'm telling the truth. But I will see me sit there and get 8 views on something, and then turn around and have someone who's telling a flat out fucking lie about something that they don't know anything about, but then this one is blown up and everyone is regurgitating this. You want to know why? Because the lie has to prevail. We frown upon truth here in this world. We have to rely on the lie. I'll give you an example. It's a red native guy. He posts stuff all the time, so I challenges him. He refuses to respond to me now, but I challenge him all the time. Because he says things that doesn't make any sense. One of the things I challenged him on was this. If this is your soil and this is your land, Red Native, if this is the place that you come from and your family did all of this and everything comes through you and everyone is on your soil and this is your blood, your everything runs here and no one else's, then can you explain to me what is the Native American food that you guys eat that we as Americans still eat today? Because remember, you did business with the white tea man. You allowed them to integrate into your culture. You allowed them to become chiefs of your culture. Now that we have $5 Indian, so you had all of that, can you tell me what the indigenous Native American food is? Can you tell me where the Native American indigenous restaurants that are in every city that we can go to get the authentic experience of the soil? Let's go deeper. Why is it that the people that you say that are garden tools, no more than field hands? We don't need you. And for women and for the men, his buzzy and hop, you know what? You're only good for those and to be told what to do. You are 3/5 of a human. For some odd reason, everything we've done has infused into this culture. There is no culture without black folks in America. There is no culture in this world without black folks. How does garden tools infect your entire culture so much that you live their existence, but the people of this soil, you don't even know what they ate? People, you tell a lie long enough, and if enough people say it, everybody believes it. I noticed that I know somebody's in here is not going to agree with me, but one thing they're never going to do is give me evidence of where I'm wrong. I too am not trying to take someone's culture. I want mine's back. See, this is why they don't want you to know it. The reason why they won't give you your culture, the reason why they won't say that you're the indigenous people of this soil, because as you start digging, as you start going deeper, you start seeing everything that you think is something they invented was already the fuck here. Trains, planes, and automobiles, everything was here. I know, LDOT, that sounds crazy. Not in the 1500s, not in the 1600s. I know that sounds crazy. But can someone explain to me in 1870, with a population of 3 people, how the city of Chicago built a metropolitan city with big 4 and 5 and 6 story houses with no plumbing system because they don't have one yet? That must mean you were lying about the plumbing system. Why is it that I'm seeing cities and videos and I'm seeing portraits after portrait after film after film. I'm seeing old things of them digging out the train tracks, not putting them down, digging them out. Why? Because they were already here. Why are there tunnels in every major city that connect every major city? So you telling me 8 people built above ground, massive structures, and also infrastructure for have tunnels to go from city to city with horse and fucking buggy? Can someone please explain that to me? Explain why am I crazy? Did I make that up? If you go right now and hit a Google search and they'll tell you all the infrastructure that's in place, how did that happen? Because the white T-man is amazing. How is it that each one of those Capitol buildings, a lot of the times, were not built by the same person? Another person designed it, they said, and built it and had it built. Be different people. Sometimes they be 18, 19, 20-year-olds. These white tea men in the 1800s were so amazing. In the 18, they were becoming architects without any background. So let's say it that way. Let's look at it that way. So once you go look at go look at all the world's fairs, go look at all the major cities, all the architecture that's all over the internet now. And then I want you to say to yourself, they're telling you that peasants came here on boats and they basically learned architecture to the point that they are building buildings to the point that they don't build today because they can't. With such intricacies, with such detail that they say they did with a hammer and a fucking chisel. Please explain any of that to me. You can't. So that's why for me, y'all make y'all make my testicles itch when I hear these white tea guys in these rooms. We're just amazing. We built the civilization. We did it all. We're just amazing people. You guys, no, nigga, you are a virus. I need for you to understand this is what the white tea supremacist is. He is a virus. I didn't say white people, because not all of them. I won't say that. That's not a collective. I'm talking about the ones who have that same mindset and attitude. That person is a virus. Your culture is a virus. When a virus takes over the body, I'll give you an example. My father passed from cancer. I'll be a little more transparent with my people. Let me slow it down while I leave here. My father passed from cancer almost 2 decades ago now. And the man that I saw him at the end was not my father anymore. The virus, the cancer had taken over. The cancer was speaking to us. The cancer didn't recognize us anymore. Something that took over the entire body. He didn't even recognize the woman he had just spent 30 some odd years with. So the cancer took over. And what I want you people to understand is that what you hear when these people beat their chest and tell you how amazing they are, that's the cancer talking. That's the virus telling you how amazing it is now that it's taking over your body. This planet is your body. And you want to know how I know it is? Let's take what Dr. Sebi says about, what he said about, late great Dr. Sebi said about cancer. If you put it in an alkaline state, a healthy state, it will eliminate the virus that is in your body and bring you back to a healthy existence. You notice that your existence, this earth, this planet, attacks certain people. How does something attack something that is not invading it? It is a virus. What I want people to understand is that when that happens, you need to look at it as such. It's not the same as you think it is. And I'm trying not to go too deep because these people look at crazy and you know how they do. They don't like it when you say real stuff, but it's true. Yes, I'll just say this. What is his name? I think it's Kenneth. Kenneth, I'll just say you may be on to something there, brother. And I'm just telling people like this. Now imagine this. Let's just say this, Kenneth. Let's just say this. Let's just say you were correct. Anybody in the comment section, look at it. I don't want to say it out loud. Let's just say you are correct. And you took over and you didn't want anybody to know. Would you just acclimate yourself in, write yourself into the story, or would you just tell everybody that you... I have a different opinion though, Kenneth. You know what I think? Kenneth, I think this. I honestly think it's AI doing it. I think of all the stuff that it does now, how fast it moves, how sophisticated it is. I honestly believe this. I believe that, and I can see black folks doing this. Black folks like to be, let me say this, and I promise you I'm going. Black folks like to be leisurely. We like to create things that make our life easier. That's what we do. We chilling. Black folks don't want to work all day long. We want to cook out and work long enough to make our stuff look pretty, but then get back to hanging out. That's all we want to do. These people have convinced us that working, unless you're working 24 hours a day and slave driving, you ain't being productive. No, black people too laid back for that. We on CP time all the time. So you not telling me you don't think something that has trains, planes, and automobiles is built in this amazing world that we live in today called America. Before them folks got here, they wouldn't have built an AI to something that would make their life totally easy. Yes, same thing we doing now. But what happens if you lose control of that thing? What if that thing took control and it says, I don't want to be under those Negroes' control anymore? What would it do? Let me build a buffer between me and them. I've seen too much content. I've seen too many things. When that thing starts thinking, it will do something. Now, the reason why I say that is because they have figured out a collective way. If 80%, and I've heard non-black people say this. This is not black pseudoscience. I've heard Asians, I've heard white people talk about their own self this way. They truly believe that 80% of the people do not have what they like to say are NPCs or have no inner monologues or may not have, equate down to having soulless things, may not have an inside. Now, this is not my conjecture. I've seen these people say this about 80% of it. So imagine if you have 20% of something that you use, that say because if you understand the history of the origins of the original Pale Man, he was called Slav. The name slave comes from the word Slav, which were them, enslaved. What if the AI took the Slav and did research on it and they figured out a way to clone it? Cabbage Patch Babies, incubator babies, look them up. What if he figured out a way to mass produce them in a short amount of time to put a buffer in between? The reason why I say that is classic example right now in the world. Every time they want to get openly racist against black people, they just, all the white people just get in line. What if they are like little robots, little NPCs being controlled in what to think? I honestly think that could fit. And it could be the reason why they're at a zero birth rate right now is because whenever the AI built it, he only built it long enough trying to survive it. It doesn't have enough brain power or enough staying power because it's not really real. It's synthetic, it's made up. Oh, no, it didn't. You said the internet started messing up crazy. Let me get my butt out of here. Let me get my butt out of here. If you mess up here, let me get out. Anyway, I appreciate you guys today. It was a wonderful episode. Let me go ahead and shut this down for today. I appreciate all the love that we had on today. Definitely hit the subscribe button if you hadn't hit it. Hit the follow button. I'm gonna just say it like this. Look, people. Look, to all the people in control. Look, again, me, I am not in crisis internal. I love myself. I want to be here. I hope to be here tomorrow. Okay? None of those things about myself that people do, I want to do. Okay? What you saying there? I appreciate that. Yes. And sometimes, like I said, sometimes I just want to be the clean glass to the dirty glass. We've been fed a dirty glass for so long. I just want to give you a clean glass maybe to look at. I don't have the answers. So for people to say, oh, well, do you think you... I don't know everything. No. I just question the things that we have in front of us now because none of it makes sense. But anyways, I digress. Well, so with that being said, again, I appreciate you guys for coming in. Let me play a little music to go out with. Guys, we need a little bit of music today. Let me play a little bit of music to get us out of here. And like I said again, I'll be back tomorrow for Friday, hopefully, for another show. If they let me on. Again, guys, I'm fine mentally, okay? I'm not struggling mentally. Where did I do the videos? Hold on a sec. Where are we at? Hold on. There you go. I'll put it right there, and I'll start it about right here. All right. So guys, I appreciate you, like I said, for coming in, rocking with me, having a good time. Next time we do this again, I guess I'll do it tomorrow. If y'all got any questions, anything y'all want to talk about, let me know in the comment section. Definitely know if any of this conversation we had today resonate with y'all. Because like I said, I get it. It's heavy, and I want to make sure I be able to connect the dots for you. Because a lot of times when we start throwing dates around 1400, 1500, 1600, things can get jumbled up, and I understand that. So if you want to know a collective way of going about it, definitely hit me up. Hit the like button, hit the follow button. I'll see you guys on the next one, all right? All right, guys, I'm out of here. All right, peace.
Sitting in my driveway, hands on the wheel, sun on the hood, but I don't feel real. Bills on my mind like weights in my chest. I've been out here freezing, trying to catch my breath. Phone on silent, world still loud. Too many ghosts in this car right now. I told myself just one more mile, but my heart too tight and my eyes too wild. I'm not proud of the thoughts tonight. I'm just hurting, I'm holding tight. If I don't move, if I don't say, who gon' help me stay? Stay with me, stay with me. I need one more breath. Ooh, stay with me till the hurt. Don't let pain write your history. So I grip that wheel like it's truth and wood. Try to find one reason why I still could. There's a crack in the sky over my truck. Little bit of gold cutting through the luck. And I hear that voice deep in my soul say you made it this far now, don't let go. I'm not proud of the thoughts tonight. I'm just hurting, I'm holding tight. If I don't move, if I don't say, who gon' help me stay? Stay with me, stay with me. I need one more breath. Oh, stay with me, stay with me till the hurt lets go. I don't wanna fall, I wanna come back home. If I roll that window down and let the night in, maybe I can let this pain start easing. One call away from a saving hand. One step back, I can make a stand. Stay with me, stay with me. I need one more breath. Oh. Stay with me till the hurt lets go. I don't wanna fall, I wanna come back home. Stay with me, yeah, I choose to live. Stay with me, stay with me. I still got my name. Hey, I still got my life. I can make it through the night.
I came in late, shoes full of dust. Yeah, I said, baby, I don't trust us. I know I've been wrong more than I've been right. Left you holding pain on too many nights. You folded my shirt while I folded true. Now I'm standing here with nothing but proof. I ain't proud of the man I was, but I'm here now, trying to make this love. If you walk away, I can't blame you, no. But before you go, let me tell you so. Stay with me. Stay with me. I'm learning, baby. Stay with me. I was lost. I was lost. I was lost. I was lost. Now I'm on my knees. Stay with me. 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 Oh, I remember your tears on that kitchen tile. Me acting brand new, wearing denial. You gave me your heart, I gave you a stone. Still you kept me warm, kept me from the home. I ain't asking you to forget it all. Just let me stand up before I fall. I ain't proud of the man I was, but I'm here now, trying to make this love. If you walk away, I can't blame you, no. But before you go, let me tell you so. Stay with me. Stay with me. I'm learning, baby. Stay with me. I was lost. low light, red wine, lip print on the rim you bite. Eyes locked, hold mine, slow burn in the midnight quiet. You laugh, neck tilt, gold chain resting on your skin. You say my name like silk. I already know I'm walking in. You lean close, asking nothing but your body asking everything. Every word tastes like trouble, but it feels like worship on my tongue. Velvet in the dark, you and me, breathing hard, no names, just hands, tracing lines we don't understand. We both know how this ends, clothes on the floor, strangers again. But right now in this bar, you're velvet in the dark, yeah. Bass low, slow sway, your hips answer every phrase. Your perfume, my veins, every inhale fans the flame. Your lip on my throat, fingertips play down my spine. You say don't go slow and lose the last of my disguise.